Merry Christmas.
The South Today Bulletin, proudly brought to you in association with MoleMap, the skin cancer detection specialists.
Tonight on the South Today, smoking sand dunes in Christchurch as fire crews battle a blaze near a city beach. A Dunedin night shelter gets a much-needed funding boost to help care for the vulnerable in the community. And Queenstown Tahuna Cemetery reopens to families after major flooding damage closed the site back in September. Kia ora, good evening. I'm Hannah Wilkins. Multiple fire crews were called to a spectacular scrub fire in Christchurch on Wednesday night, with the billowing smoke visible from many parts of the city. Up to 10 fence crews battled the blaze near Waimairi Beach, managing to contain the fire before it got out of control.
It was a busy Wednesday night for Christchurch fire crews, after a vegetation fire started in the sand dunes at the southern end of Bottle Lake Forest around 6 p.m. Smoke was visible from most parts of the city as multiple crews raced to the scene. A fire and emergency command unit was set up near Waimairi Beach to monitor the situation. 10 fire crews were involved at its peak and were quickly able to bring the scrub fire under control. Fire and Emergency New Zealand says there's no information to suggest the fire was suspicious and confirmed no one was injured in the incident. Fire crews remained at the scene after 8 o'clock, dampening down hotspots. In Christchurch, the South Today.
The new Bowmont Bridge is finally officially completed, although NZTA Waka Kotahi admits the major upgrades came at a bit of a cost. The new bridge cost around $32 million to build, coming in $7 million over budget. NZTA says it's the biggest highway infrastructure project in the Clutha district in a generation, noting there's a number of contributing factors to the overspend. The bridge has been in use since July, but under temporary speed restrictions while final top seal and road markings were added. The modern two-lane bridge replaces the old 136-year-old single-lane one, which will enjoy a new lease of life as part of the cycling route on the Clutha Gold Trail. The Dunedin night shelter is one step closer to getting much-needed renovations underway, thanks to a generous grant from the Otago Community Trust. Demand for the facility continues to grow, and so does the need for space, with the shelter aiming to provide care for some of the more vulnerable members of the community.
A place of hope for those in need, now looking to expand to keep up with increasing demand. The Dunedin night shelter is very thankful after receiving a grant of $100,000 from the Otago Community Trust. That money will go towards some much-needed renovations to increase bed capacity at the shelter, along with improving the kitchen space and accessibility. The night shelter needs around $500,000 to complete all the work it needs, but this grant will definitely get the ball rolling, taking a big chunk out of the total the team are chasing.
So that's a huge step. Which is great. It really gets our fundraising underway.
Dunedin's night shelter provide accommodation along with food and clothes for the homeless. It also offers free meals to residents living in boarding houses 3 days a week. But the team admits the facility is struggling to keep up with the number of people coming for dinner, with their current kitchen no bigger than an average home.
Our demand has gone through the roof. The situation has deteriorated greatly, and I don't see any cease in that.
The Otago Community Trust announced grants totaling $1.3 million this month to assist 67 organisations across the region. CEO Gemma Adams is happy to help support the efforts of the Shelter Trust.
We know the night shelter do amazing work with some of the really vulnerable members of our community, and they're providing accommodation and meals for people who need somewhere to stay for a few nights.
The Community Trust says part of its goals are to help strengthen the delivery of services for non-profit groups across Otago, with another set of grants due to be confirmed next February. In Dunedin, the South Today.
A fantastic sight was spotted off the waters of Dunedin yesterday as the city was treated to something other than cruise ships in the harbour. Passengers on a boat out on Otago Harbour on Wednesday morning saw at least one orca swimming in the area. Marine mammal researcher Giovanni Forbes says a male killer whale just inland from Weller's Rock, but suspects there may have been a few more lurking under the water. Otago Harbour has been home to many different marine mammals in the past, providing the animals with a habitat full of food and shelter. She says visiting orcas are rare but normal near Dunedin, but urges the public to be cautious around the marine mammals. As the school year comes to an end, it's time for some pupils to say goodbye to their familiar surroundings. But St Leonards wasn't letting them go without a fight. The Dunedin Primary School hosted its annual end-of-year water fight this week, offering a chance to cool off on a Dunner day.
The end of the school year calls for blowing off a bit of steam, in this case by soaking each other with water guns. Dunedin's St Leonards Primary School held its traditional end-of-year water fight on Wednesday, giving pupils a chance to cool off from the 25-degree heat. There are no rules except soak whoever you see, and Principal Sarah Thompson admits it's one of the most highly anticipated events of the school year.
It's happened every year for at least 7 years. Yes, absolutely. It's a great way to end the year. Splash and dash, get everyone wet and off they go.
The fun event's also a way to say farewell to the departing Year 6 pupils who say they'll miss the yearly tradition.
I started here at Year 1 and I've done it every year since that, and it's been really fun.
For many of the pupils, their favourite part of the day was when Thompson had to run the gauntlet, giving the students the rare opportunity to drench their principal.
The water fights are always fun though. You get to get everyone wet. You get to splash, tackle, soak them. It's fun.
And as the water fight ended, so did their school year, giving everyone the chance to recharge their batteries over the summer break. In Dunedin, the South today.
An official ceremony has been held as Queenstown Tahuna Cemetery reopened to the public. Part of the grounds were closed to allow significant work to be carried out after major damage caused by flooding in September.
Officially restoring access to the Queenstown Cemetery on Thursday is a milestone being welcomed by residents. The Brecken Street site was closed after heavy rain created a mudslip in late September, bringing forestry slash and debris into the cemetery and causing damage. Since then there's been with limited access for people with loved ones interred in the area. But after 2 months of work, the town cemetery has been cleared of fallen trees and silt, allowing members of the public to return and visit the grave sites.
Experts from Dunedin Monumental Masons, they came in and they actually reset any displaced headstones. They did some basic stabilization of any that were loosened, things like that. There are still a few more that need to be, particularly the metal work that needs to be restored.
The Queenstown Lakes District Council provided buckets, brushes and flowers so that individual families affected could do their own final cleans on the grave sites and headstones. Mayor Glenn Lewis says he is grateful to the community for their patience and understanding and is relieved to have the cemetery open for the holiday season.
It's a weight off, I think, the community's shoulders to be able to allow this to happen. I've got to shout out to all the people that worked on this, from Kai Tahu to the contractors and to even the council.
The council says there's still more work to be done, including restoring the historic stone wall and installing a debris fence above Reavers Lane. And the affected part of the cemetery will need to be reclosed again temporarily in mid-January to allow grass to be sown and ensure safety, while forestry clearing work continues further uphill. In Queenstown, the South today.
Still to come on the South today. Well, off to East Gore we go as school children get a hands-on and historical lesson outside the classroom. And with 4 sleeps until Christmas, we'll look back at some of the big southern news stories of 2023.
Massive store-wide Boxing Day sale on now. He's taken 25 to 75% off everything store-wide. 25 to 75% off everything.
and my mate John.
Such a sweet girl. What are you dreaming about?
Just music.
The Power of Dreams by Honda.
If you're at risk of developing melanoma skin cancer, you owe it to yourself to have a mole map. Mole map is coming to your area. Phone today to make an appointment. It could save your life.
A poorly maintained heat pump can lose up to 35% of its output. The Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner team are experts. Their specially developed chemical wash is totally biodegradable. Call Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner and get the job done by the professionals.
Here at Age Concern Otago, we offer a range of services to support Otago seniors to age well with dignity and independence. We provide social work support, visiting service, health promotion and social activities. Check out what we have on offer at ageconcernotago.com.
Tēnā koe, welcome back. Southland school children have been getting their painting aprons on as they tackle a big project outside the classroom. East Gore School is putting the cherry on top of a new mural which aims to showcase the history of the rural area.
Adding the finishing touches to a school art project with a difference. One that's on a very large scale. East Gore School's grounds are looking a little more colourful after the pupils got to put their creative skills to the test, getting to brighten up a concrete wall with some paint. Milton artist Alice Muir lent her skills and paintbrushes to the children to help create this large mural paying homage to the whakapapa of the East Gore area.
We've been thinking about this mural for probably about 2 years, thinking about how we can tell the story of East Gore, where we sit within the Gore region, and the only way we thought we could do it was through a mural on our back wall.
The mural was a joint project with Hokanui Runanga, who made suggestions about what the artwork could include. 4 panels showcase different aspects of the region's colourful history, including a Māori wind instrument, gold panning, the Mataura River and the Hokanui Hills.
What I really love is we've got multiple history cultures going on in these murals. It's not just about pūrākau for iwi, but we've also got the gold, knowing what was going on Waikaka and all those places.
The children enjoyed getting their hands dirty to help with painting the mural, with the project also sparking a learning journey for the pupils.
I think it's actually really nice. She's a very talented painter and the trout's very nice. It looks really realistic.
A white circle with the school's name is nestled between the painted Waikaka stream and Mataura River, representing East Gore School's own place in Southland. In Gore, the South Today.
And now we conclude our look back at the year of 2023 in news from across the south. December began with smoke in Parliament and talent in the paddocks, and our news year wrapped up with festive light displays and Santa parades spreading Christmas cheer across the regions.
There was justice in early December as Dunedin man Lance Moore was sentenced to prison for manslaughter after running over 28-year-old Sean Bewers in a drug altercation last July. The new coalition government of National Act and New Zealand First was sworn in and announced plans to repeal anti-smoking laws. That prompted a backlash from many Southern doctors who condemned the decision.
I've seldom seen clinical staff more unified. Because this is not a morally grey area, there is absolute certainty about the harms of tobacco and smoking.
The Queenstown branch of community food charity Kiwi Harvest found a new temporary depot at 5 Mile after months of uncertainty and upheaval. And the start of summer saw rural events move outdoors. Toko Marero's A&P show having more than just livestock on display, with Milton's Got Talent performers taking centre stage.
The amount of talent and the skills that come out of the woodwork, people you wouldn't pick them as being entertainers, and they turn up on stage and do a great job. So that's really cool to see.
Gore got into the Christmas spirit with a Santa parade through the town centre, with Dunedin able to host its annual festive march through the almost completed George Street once again. The partial completion and pause on CBD roadworks helped encourage more Christmas shoppers out to Dunedin malls, buying last-minute gifts for loved ones.
Lovely, very busy though, but it's nice, it's good.
Novelty socks. So can't show you because you're a bit rude.
Good, I feel like it's a bit last minute, but I'm getting it all done.
And in Christchurch, the popular Shands Road Christmas experience lit up again. It's billed as the biggest of its kind in Australasia, providing thousands of Cantabrians with a good dose of festive cheer. Across the South Today.
And now recapping tonight's top stories on the South Today. Fire crews battled a major fire at New Brighton on Wednesday night, which started in the sand dunes. Dunedin's night shelter received a $100,000 grant from the Otago Community Trust for redevelopment work. And Queenstown Tahuna Cemetery has reopened to the public after months of repair work following damage in the September floods. And now a look at what's happening in tomorrow's ODT. We welcome back our editor, Paul McIntyre. Hello, Paul. How are you today?
Good. How are you?
Pretty good. What can we expect to read in the paper tomorrow? What have the team been working on?
Well, something that might upset some of our people heading to town and wanting to park in town. There's a proposal for the cycleway linking the tertiary precinct, city centre, etc. So it's the extension of the cycle network. 68 car parks would go under that plan, and some businesses are already upset. So there's a report that warns that there's a really dangerous fire risk on Mount Iron in Wanaka, which is a landmark many people use.
Absolutely, yes.
And just like Santa Claus, a Dunedin couple had to check their list of numbers, lotto numbers, several times, more than once, as they won $8.25 million in Powerball.
That's a life-changing amount and perfect for Christmas time.
Absolutely.
Right, well, thank you for sharing tonight, Paul. We look forward to reading more tomorrow.
Thank you.
Time now for a look at your weather.
The South Today weather, proudly brought to you by MoleMap, the skin cancer detection specialists.
Looking at the situation, and it'll be overcast on Christmas Eve with some rain and humid nor'easterlies. Then it's sunny and warm on Christmas morning, but cooler southwesterly winds and showers will develop late in the day. Boxing Day, cloudy and cool with southerlies. Heading to the top of the South Island, cloudy with northerlies up here tomorrow with a 24-degree high in Nelson, and both Greymouth and Christchurch can expect 21 degrees. Travelling to South Canterbury and North Otago, quite cloudy as we move down the east coast here tomorrow with warm nor'easterly winds. By numbers, 20 degrees in Ashburton and Timaru, with Iwamuru expecting 19. Heading westwards to the Central Lakes, showers and light winds are about through here again tomorrow, much like today, with 21 due in both Queenstown and Wanaka, but one better in Alexandra with a 22-degree high. Heading further south, well, a pleasant day through here tomorrow, but with some showers at times, and 18-degree highs across the board for Gore, Balclutha and the Catlins. Across to Invercargill, looking fine tonight with an 11-degree low. Tomorrow we'll have a blanket of thick high cloud bringing showers and a mild 23-degree high. Then Saturday is much the same with the addition of northerly winds with 22 as the high. And finally heading to Dunedin. Still looking showery tonight as it drops to a cooler 12 with some particularly warm night last night, wasn't it? 20 degrees at midnight. Looking ahead, well, Friday's an 18-degree day with cloudy skies, fresh winds and some rain. Then the weekend brings a warmer 19 with nor'easterlies, patchy cloud before Christmas Eve on Sunday. And that's the news this Thursday. For the latest news and videos from the southern region, head online to odt.co.nz. You can follow Channel 39 on YouTube to catch our news bulletins on demand, or follow us on Facebook. Search for the South Today NZ to see our favourite stories from around the regions. We'll see you again tomorrow. Ka kite apopo.
Public interest journalism funded through New Zealand On Air.
The South Today Bulletin proudly brought to you in association with MoleMap, the skin cancer detection specialists.